The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
What is the Jets' plan at quarterback? They still need a backup, and there's also talks of them drafting a QB earlier than we think. We'll get into that and much more with Matt O'Leary, who will join the show. It is the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
Wish you could have been a Jet, Fernando.
Let's see what happens.
What's your message to the Jet fans in New York?
Jets, Jets.
A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super Chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everybody. Please make sure you like the video before we get started and you are subscribed to our channel. We are presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. Big shout out to everyone who supports the show on our Patreon. If you sign up for the year, you not only save 15%, but you also get 10 weekly raffle tickets applied. You'll get access to our Discord, find out about exclusive events, your name added to the intro, and a whole lot more. Just go to patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Let's say hello to our guy, Matt O'Leary, who joins us now in his weekly spot on the show. Matt, I know you were under the weather last week, so hopefully you're feeling a lot better now, and I appreciate you hopping on.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here and feeling a lot better. So let's talk some Jets football, baby.
Oh, the Jets always make everything better, as we know. Well, actually, we'll start with some news this morning. So the Jets still need a backup quarterback. A name that we were told was seriously under consideration was Carson Wentz. Well, officially, that is not happening. Carson Wentz, according to multiple reports, is re-signing with the Minnesota Vikings. So Wentz off the board. You look at that Vikings QB room. They got Kyler, J.J. McCarthy, and Carson Wentz. You wonder, where did the Jets go from here? This also comes a day after we learned Andy Dalton, another name that many thought could be the Jet backup, was traded to the Eagles. So, Matt, you get the first word on this. What are your thoughts on the options at backup quarterback now for the Jets?
Yeah, Carson Wentz was a name that was kind of brought up earlier in the process, and I wasn't a super huge fan of bringing in Carson Wentz just because he seems like a very polarizing figure, right? And I just don't love that from a QB2. I kind of just rather someone who comes in and does their job kind of a thing. I thought Dalton would make a ton of sense. I would have loved to trade a 7th-round pick for Andy Dalton to be the backup, just reliable, goes about his business type of dude. But, now looking at it, I don't think there's a ton of great options. Tyrod Taylor, I guess, could come back, who I've always liked Tyrod as a backup. The issue is the injuries, right? It feels like anytime he comes in, he unfortunately gets hurt shortly thereafter. And I know another name mentioned previously for the Jets was Cooper Rush. So I wonder if that's kind of where they loop back to. Didn't have a great year backing up Lamar in Baltimore last year when he came in and started a handful of games there. But I always thought in Dallas backing up Dak Prescott, I thought anytime he got an opportunity, he looked okay in that role. So maybe that's the route that they go. I don't know if the trade market is really going to be an answer at this point.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like there's a ton of options in free agency. If they go down the trade market, I'll continue to suggest Will Levis, just because I rather the backup be someone who has a possible upside. Like if they had brought in Wentz, if they had brought in Dalton, that doesn't do anything for me. I know what those guys are. There's no even illusion of them being anything more than just a backup at this stage of their career. I'd love to see the Jets take a chance on someone with some semblance of an upside. I'd call the Colts about Anthony Richardson as well. I know people think I'm nuts, but they have Frank Reich on this staff now. They have Bill Musgrave on this staff. These guys have worked with a tremendous amount of different quarterbacks in their career. He's talented. There's an upside there. I'm not saying he's any good. He probably isn't, but I at least am open to the idea of bringing in someone that we don't definitively know what they are. Because after Geno Smith, all right, if Geno gets hurt and goes down, I I don't have any false illusions of the Jets doing something this upcoming year. So I'd rather take a chance on a guy with some real upside.
Yeah, and that's totally fair. And I think I would feel more comfortable with that because you have Geno and you kind of know what Geno is. If the plan was after just going through last year with Justin Fields, who similar kind of quarterback in a way to a Will Levis or an Anthony Richardson, where you're going, it didn't work out in their first stop. But the hope is that, there's enough talent there as a high-end draft pick that he could figure it out. I didn't want to go back down that road for the starting job, but I could understand the idea of taking a flyer on one of these guys for a back. And I don't think it would cost you a whole lot to trade for one of those two guys. So Levis feels like the popular name of the two. So I guess we could potentially see if they make a move there. Although, I know we talked a lot about Tanner McKee earlier in the offseason. Now, after they being Philadelphia trade for Andy Dalton, do you think that makes Tanner McKee potentially available as an option?
Yeah, I guess it could. My question is, what do the Eagles want for him? Because I don't understand where the hype comes from in the first place. He was a 6th-round pick. He's barely played. I watched him in the last game of the regular season, and I get it. The Eagles weren't playing all their starters, but I didn't see anything where I go, we need Tanner McKee now. I don't understand where the hype for McKee comes from.
No, I'm totally there with you. He has 2 starts in the regular season, both in the last week of the year. One of them went really well against the Giants, and then the other one against Washington didn't go so great. So I'm with you. I don't get the love affair there if you're talking about a 2nd or 3rd round pick. If it's a day 3 pick, I just don't think that really hurts you all that much. But supposedly they're asking a lot, but I'm with you. I don't really understand why or what value they have on him.
First super chat of the day belongs to Bino, who writes in Jacob Matthew with a bunch of emojis. I'll take it, Bino. Well done, sir. Thanks for supporting the program. All right, let's get to the giveaway on the show today. We're stepping it up. A lot of the Asmaniacs out there have been so supportive. So we got another Wayne Corbett signed helmet up for grabs across our shows today. Gift the membership or send in a $10 super chat or higher to qualify. I'm planning on doing the weekly Asmaniac raffle during our second stream tomorrow afternoon. We got a signed Vinny T jersey, a signed Garrett Wilson jersey, and a signed Curtis, my favorite Martin helmet, all up for grabs in the weekly. So make sure you guys enter if you don't get a chance to watch the show tomorrow. This is your last day to do so. Matt, in terms of the other veteran options, you mentioned Tyrod before. Geno Smith made a comment, I believe in his interview with Josina Anderson, that him and Tyrod work out together in the offseason. They have a good relationship. Tyrod's been like a mentor to Geno in his career. Gun to my head, I think they just bring back Tyrod. What would be your thoughts if he ends up being the backup?
Yeah, I could definitely see that. And you know what? I like I said before, I happen to really like Tyrod Taylor. The injuries are a slight concern, but if the Jets end up drafting somebody at some point, it doesn't have to be Ty Simpson, but it could in the 1st round or 2nd round, theoretically. But it wouldn't shock me if they went into 2026 with a room of Geno, Tyrod, and a rookie quarterback. I think, he's well respected in that building. He's been here for the last couple of years. He's been solid in his role. So I could see that. Absolutely.
Your thoughts on the debate at quarterback now? Mel Kiper mocking Ty Simpson to the New York Jets in his latest mock draft at pick 16. Give me your thoughts on the idea of the Jets taking Ty.
I don't love it at pick 16. I'm going to be honest with you. Now, a part of me would get it from the Jets perspective, right? Where maybe they're looking at it and going, well, if we go through, 4-13 this year, are we going to ever get a chance to draft our guy? But I really look at it and think that at the top of the draft, they got to add a difference maker on this defense. And then at pick 16, I'd really rather a wide receiver, honestly. And I think with Geno and having the veteran in there, it kind of, can bridge the gap for you from this year into next year. I would rather take a shot on one of the mid-round guys, honestly. Garrett Nussmeier, Drew Aller, I feel like are the 2 names that are talked about the most for the Jets in the middle of the draft. I just would have a really hard time using that pick 16 on Ty Simpson. Now, if it works, then great. You found your franchise quarterback, and you can't, obviously overdraft a franchise quarterback. But it would make me nervous going into the season. I'm not going to lie to you.
Ty Simpson has so many things that you really like about him. I think his personality, his processing skills, toughness. I just can't get over the fact he played 15 career games. And it's not like he was dominant in his 15 career games. He was great at the beginning of the year, dealt with some injuries. Alabama didn't do a ton to really help him with a running game, and they had a ton of drops in that receiving room. You could talk yourself into it, but I just don't think, given where the Jets are at with the 3 ones they have next year and what is in all likelihood going to be a way better QB draft, I don't know if you could justify taking him at 16. It's way too big of a risk. And they don't need, like, Muji does not need to take that swing. No one's expecting him to have to get his quarterback figured out long-term this offseason. They're set up to do it a year from now. Unless you love him, I don't know if you could justify taking that type of risk.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on it. And that's why, like, if I was in the chair, I personally wouldn't do it. The only thing again, like how I laid it out before for Muji and Aaron Glenn, like a part of me could understand it if they just they feel like they can't afford to wait another year to go after that guy. But for me personally, I'd rather build out the roster. I think they've done some nice things in free agency, both with signings and trades. And I think, with 4 picks in the top 44, like, you can continue to add to this team and set yourself up for the long term. And I just think it's too big of a gamble.
I'm right there with you. We got this super chat from Mickey who writes in, Dallas signed Sam Howell, so Joe Milton could be available. There's upside there with Milton. I don't hate that if that's their move. Now, it looks like Milton's still listed as the number 2 on the depth chart, with Howell being the number 3. But if you call Dallas and they say Milton's available for a day 3 pick, I'd be intrigued.
Yeah, I mean, that fits the bill, right? As a young quarterback who has some upside, massive arm, right? He just has an absolute cannon. How much has he developed since going into the NFL? I'm not sure. We've seen, him in just a few different spots, but Dallas certainly was intrigued enough to trade for him after 1 year, right? And he started out in New England. So we'll see how that ends up shaking out, but that fits the bill, right? If you're looking in that bucket of the Will Levis and Anthony Richardson tier, I think Joe Milton also fits in with that.
Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Hey, huge shout out to Joshua, who says, hi, Jake. This is your 84-year-old fan. Keep it up. You are unrelenting, and I love it. I expect the Super Bowl at least within 10 years. It better be. From your lips to God's ears, Joshua, thank you for watching the show. And I'd love nothing more than to know within 10 years the Jets would be world champions. Not holding my breath, but hey, you never know. Is the playoff drought over within 10 years, Matt? That might be the better question.
Within 10, I would certainly hope so. I don't know if 2026 is going to be the year, but man, I really hope that it doesn't go another 10 years. I don't know if we could keep doing this.
God, hit the like button if you guys are tuning in. We'll do plenty of calls this morning on the show as well. Jay Cuddy writes in, I think Levis would be the most exciting to watch, given he's a great athlete with a big arm, but more likely AG and Muji are going to ride it out with Geno to try to save their jobs. Right. Levis wouldn't be the starter. He'd be the backup to Geno. What if Geno suffered an injury? What if he's just not playing well and the Jets are, sitting in a spot where they're 2-8? I'd rather watch Will Levis play out the stretch than 36-year-old Geno Smith.
Yeah, right. And it gives you just another avenue to watch, right? Like you said, if you go the first, 7 games of the year and Geno's just really stinking it up and it doesn't look like he's going to get back to what he was in Seattle, then you can turn it over to a player where at least you're going, let's just see what this kid has, right? I'm not particularly high on Will Levis. I didn't love him coming out of the draft, but at least it gives you something to watch. And we've seen much worse than Will Levis, right? Like, we can run through all the different quarterbacks. So yeah, I don't hate that idea.
Bino says, Flacco will be signed. Watch. How would you feel about Joe Flacco's third tour of duty with the Jets?
I love it, right? Demario Davis is back for tour number 3, so why not do it again with Joe Flacco? I would be really surprised if Joe comes back. I could see him in Cincy, maybe, right? Going back to Cincinnati with Joe Burrow coming back off the injury.
Dan writes in, Jake and Matt, did you see the AD Mitchell on the Down to Business pod? Pretty cool. AD said they most likely aren't taking a QB at 2 or 16. Loves Reich and the players they have on offense. Well, I'm not surprised that in all likelihood they're not taking a quarterback at 2 or 16. I do think there's a chance it could happen at 33, though. I do think if Ty Simpson made it there to pick 33, there is a scenario where the value for the Jets they feel is worth taking that type of swing.
Yeah, no, I think that it starts in the second round. Now, we were talking about Ty Simpson at 16. If there's a world where he's available at 33, I think that changes the conversation a little bit, right? Because a second round quarterback, even with the first pick in the second round, it's a different story than using a first round pick on a quarterback. I just feel like it doesn't, hamstring you from taking a quarterback in 2027. If we got to the point where we saw Ty Simpson and is like, I don't know if we really saw enough if he is or isn't the guy. Well, at pick 16, you're probably sticking with him because that's too high of a draft pick to kind of just give up on, so to speak. But on day 2, that's a completely different story for a quarterback.
Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Veteran Jet fan who is a Jet connoisseur as far as anything in the Jet content universe. He's on top of it. He writes, and I saw that interview. AD barely knew the new coaching hire names. The look on Caleb Downs' face when Brian Duker was mentioned. Well, that's one perspective on it. I haven't seen it. I guess I'll have to watch it to kind of get a feel for whatever AD Mitchell said. I did have AD on the show during Super Bowl week in the Bay Area, and I thought he was a pretty cool dude, and I'm certainly rooting for his success. Look, at the end of the day, as this is a perfect kind of segue to another topic I want to hit on, Matt, this team needs another receiver. As much as I like AD Mitchell, I don't think he's ready to be a number 2 at this point. I know they have the draft as a way to get a big-time receiver in that room, but you're still relying on a rookie at that point. Give me your thoughts on the wide receiver room, because I think the Jets need to add a veteran.
Yeah, I definitely think that they need to add probably 2 more pieces to this wide receiver room. So it might be a sign/trade. I'll group that together and adding someone in the draft because, in my opinion, I think AD Mitchell's closer to a number 3 receiver. I just haven't seen enough from him in his career to justify going into the year with him as the number 2. And then after that, it gets scary hours pretty quick, man. Like, do you really want Arian Smith and Isaiah Williams to be, regular featured guys? I don't. I think they're really more wide receiver 5 and 6s with, obviously Williams adding a little bit more special teams value, but they need a couple more bodies here, which is why I was a little surprised that they decided to move on from John Mechie. Not saying that John Mechie was, in the running to be a wide receiver too, but I at least thought he showed more as a receiver than both Isaiah Williams and Arian Smith. So I agree with you. I think this is probably one of those scenarios where, you're dipping into the veteran market and then also looking to make a, pretty meaningful addition early in this draft.
Jay says, how can you say AD can't be a number 2? I don't think anyone's saying he can't be a number 2. We're saying right now projecting him to be a number 2 is irresponsible because you're not setting your team up for success by doing everything possible to surround Geno with as much talent as possible for him to try and give you, this fun season that not many of us think is possible. Like, what if AD is not a number 2 and then all of a sudden it's Garrett Wilson who's coming off an injury, AD Mitchell, a rookie, Isaiah Williams. I don't even know if Arian Smith makes the team. You need more depth in that room. Last year, they made the huge mistake of having Josh Reynolds and Tyler Johnson as their number 2 and 3 receivers. That's not good enough. They need to learn from that.
Yeah, I mean, he has 700 receiving yards in 2 years in the league. And, maybe he grows. And I obviously hope that he can grow and continue to develop. It's just he hasn't proven that he is at the NFL level. And, I get it. We can talk about the quarterback play, and that's always going to be a factor in these conversations with additional context. But I just think it'd be a gamble because he's been at the best way you could describe it is inconsistent. There's been flashes of him looking like a real quality wide receiver, but then he's also pretty quiet too. So I just think it's too big of a gamble to take. Maybe he ends up being that guy, and it'd be great if the Jets, essentially he was looked at as a throw-in in the Sauce Gardner trade. If that turned into him being a wide receiver too, that's fantastic. But again, I just look at this with one, giving Geno the best path to success, but also we're talking about either adding a rookie quarterback this year or next year. Well, I want to make sure that guy's in the best position possible for success too. So I don't know. They don't score enough points. Get as many good players on offense as you can.
Completely agree with you. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. We got a Wayne Corbett autographed helmet up for grabs on our show today. We're presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. Matt, the Jet win total right now, following all the moves they've made thus far, is still around 5.5. Is this fair, or do you think the Jets should be projected to win more than just 5.5 games?
No, I think that's honestly right on the money because where I am right now, and obviously it could change after the draft. And, we always do the schedule predictions way too early, and teams that you think are going to be great are, and teams that you think are going to stink actually are pretty good. But as of right now, I'm looking at this roster. I think it's a 5 or 6 win team. So that 5.5 number seems pretty fair. And honestly, like if you're asking me today, I don't know if I would take the over or the under on the Jets. So to me, that shows that's a pretty good line.
Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Thunderlip says AD becoming the number 2 is best case scenario. Can't hope and bank on it. Agreed. Like you could add more talent to the room and then be pleasantly surprised if AD Mitchell does take that next step forward.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like if they took a wide receiver early in this year's draft and, you go into camp and just AD Mitchell looks awesome, then you're going, okay, great. We have 3 guys that we feel confident in. And if you look around the NFL, there's teams who've had success with, 3 quality wide receivers. You look at Tampa Bay over the years, or Seattle when they had DK Metcalf before they made that trade. And obviously the Rams have had a lot of wide receivers. Like, I don't know. I don't know how we could watch this team be like 28th in scoring every year and be like, no, I think we're okay actually with the wide receiver room. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Seth Martinez is the first Asmaniac to get the 5 spot on today's show. He is entered in the raffle for 5. Hit the O'Leary Wedding Jet Chant. Yeah, Seth, thank you. And thanks for gifting so I could play that when Matt's on the show. Veteran Jet fan, channel member. Syer Robertson, channel member. ST4R of David, next stand up. And Mr. Davila 2028, all receiving a gifted membership there from Seth Martinez, who's in our Wayne Crewbet helmet raffle for 5.
Hello? You play to win the game.
The Doc has gifted 5. Hit the O'Leary JETS, Jets, Jets. Doc, thank you. Here are the 5 listeners who got a gifted membership. Sean Cora, K Ballard, K MB, Gier Dordes, and Com BL, all receiving a gifted membership. We got a super chat from Big Country who says, I got my Tank for Art shirt yesterday. Thanks, Jake. Big Country, thanks for supporting the show, my man. I hope that shirt is awesome for you. And if the Jets end up with Arch Manning, you could say you knew it when. You knew it was happening. You predicted and saw the future. Brian Glick writes, and for all the positivity in the free agent roster moves, hoping Geno could be the 20th best QB, AD could be a competent 2, Parham playing an above-average guard, our offense is an injury away from pathetic. And I think that's the point many of us are trying to make. They've improved, but there's still a long way to go.
Yeah, correct. This is a totally fair comment, but there's also the NFL draft too. So we don't know who the QB2 is going to be yet. I think, is there a world where Geno can be the 20th best quarterback? Sure, but I don't think you are absolutely betting on that. And that's why I'm hoping that they add a wide receiver early. I'd like to see them also add depth on the offensive line, and they have a bunch of picks, including 4 in the top 44, where they can continue to add to this roster.
Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Let's see. There was another comment I wanted to get to. This was from ISU, who writes in, we took a huge dip because we had to ignore weapons to get OT/O-line fixed. Now it's time to address weapons. Give me Tate and Sadiq in the 1st and Sobakowitz in the 7th. I don't know who that is. I'll be fully transparent. As far as the first names, look, I love Carnell Tate. I don't think he's there at 16, and I don't think they're going to take him at 2. Sadiq is an interesting one because he's really, really good, but he is a tight end, not a receiver. So then you have to debate on, do you take the first-round tight end all over again?
Yeah, and I think at least with Sadiq, like looking at his numbers at Oregon, he played a majority of his snaps in the slot. So I think while yes, you're drafting a tight end, his biggest role would be as your slot receiver, so to speak. And look, we talked about just trends in the NFL. There's a lot of teams now running a lot of 2 and 3 tight end sets. So I don't hate the idea of adding Sadiq in the 1st round. I don't think that means you have to be out on Mason Taylor either. They're just different type of tight ends. And you could, Frank Reich is still, good at his job. You could use both and have, success on offense that way. I'm with you. I don't think they're going to take Tate at 2. I think the first pick is going to be a playmaker for the defensive side of the ball, and then maybe they look for some sort of weapon at pick 16.
JC says, do you guys think if we somehow had the first pick that Arch would not be allowed to play for us like when Peyton and Eli got kept away from teams? No, I don't. Couple things on this. Peyton Manning wanted to play for the Jets. Bill Parcells did not guarantee that he was going to take him first overall, so he went back to school. That's what happened there. With Eli Manning did not want to play for the Chargers. That was a very specific thing. And the Chargers, according to Gary Myers, they also loved Phillip Rivers. So they wanted to play the Giants into getting some picks for Eli Manning. There's a lot more to that story than people realize. I'm going to have Gary Myers on so I can do a once and for all debrief on all this. And Gary, who is presenting Eli for the Hall of Fame every year, knows the Manning family as well as anyone and continues to say if the Jets are in position to take Arch is not going to pull an Eli. And by the way, apparently it's very attractive to the Mannings that the family, a lot of them, Eli's side, they all live in the New Jersey area, 10 minutes from the Jets facility. So if the Jets are in position to take Arch, and Arch is as good as he's supposed to be a year from now, he's going to be a Jet. I don't have any fear whatsoever of him pulling an Eli.
Yeah, I'm glad that you added the additional context to the Peyton Manning side of things, because I feel like that's always forgotten, that it wasn't he went back to school to avoid the Jets. It was because he wanted to be the number one pick, and Bill Parcells wasn't going to guarantee him that he was going to be the number one pick. And you have to look at these teams' situations going into 2027. I think, unfortunately for these prospects, the teams picking towards the top of the draft are all usually really bad, right? So who's he going to choose from? He's like, I'm not going to go to the Jets, but I'm dying to go to Arizona or Cleveland or insert, another team that's usually picking towards the top of the draft. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. If the Jets can continue to build up their offensive line, which I think they have a chance to be, a solid unit this year. And if we talked about adding another strong weapon at wide receiver, suddenly you're looking at the Jets and going, you know what, that's not a terrible spot, because they have, a bona fide number one in Garrett Wilson. There's depth players there, and you feel good about the offensive line. So I think the Jets actually are positioned pretty well to make this a comfortable landing spot for a quarterback next year.
And look, if they're in position to get Arch Manning and they have a new coach, that new coach is going to be probably someone you would imagine with experience or an offensive guy. It makes it more attractive for Arch, but this is the Jets, so I guess we won't know for sure on that. Bino with the super chat. I'd love to add a center mid-rounds in the draft and keep Tippmann at right guard. I love Jake Slaughter from Florida. I like the Indiana center, Kuglin, or what's the guy's name? I liked watching him in the college football playoff. Experienced guy, transfer from Notre Dame. He's like a day 3 pick. Many are saying that's the guy I'd like. Do you have any interior offensive linemen that intrigue you, Matt?
I do. Logan Jones from Iowa. He's their center, kind of projected to go like 3rd, 4th, 5th round in that range. I think it's a smart call to have some sort of developmental center who can maybe, either sit in year 1 or push Josh Myers for that starting role. And then, even if he doesn't hit it, you have Myers for another year, and then you could turn the keys over to a player developed on day 3. And, that's a position at center where usually you can find outside of the first round. I know the Jets spent, a relatively early pick in the 2nd round on Joe Tippmann. I like him better at guard. I think it's a better fit with his size, but I'm absolutely open to adding a center, and there's a few good options.
Pat Coogan from Indiana, 5th round grade, according to Dom C's, who I was thinking of. Watch for the Jets to potentially draft Emmanuel Pregnant from Oregon in the 2nd round if he's there.
Okay, I like that a lot. I think he's someone who could come in and start right away, too.
Doc in the house. Jets very much need a wide receiver 1A or 2, but I hope Reich does not forget about Breece as a 2A wideout. He runs wheel, especially against linebackers well. This has been a complaint we've had since Breece's rookie year, that the Jets have not featured him enough in the passing attack. I really hope they do this year, man. I hope Reich can fix that.
Yeah, me too. And hopefully it doesn't take till halfway through the year like it did with Nate Hackett figuring out that he can catch passes out of the backfield.
I'm like week 8. Unbelievable. Kyle Clifton in the raffle for 2. Let's go, Kyle. Hit it.
Yeah.
Let's talk Denzel Boston. I saw the chat slamming his separation, but Jeremiah comped him to Cortland Sutton. He's 6'4", 212. Vert, short area quickness, very good. He just didn't run at combine. I've seen him mocked to the Jets at 16. I've seen him being mocked at 16. Omar Cooper Jr. from Indiana seems to be a trending name, going a lot higher than we thought. One of these guys will not make it in round one. There's always a receiver seemingly that falls out of the first round. If they don't take a receiver at 16, pick 33. If it's not Ty Simpson or the Jets don't trade back, I could definitely see them drafting a wide receiver there.
Me too. I'm lukewarm on Denzel Boston. Those bigger receivers who don't separate well in college, I feel like are true 50-50 guys at the next level. And like there's prospects, all different kinds of wide receiver prospects that can bust, but he just makes me a little bit nervous, especially you look at some of these, first round guys who are billed as the, contested catch guys. Doesn't always work out at the next level. So I have some other guys that I prefer. Omar Cooper is one of those guys. I think I would prefer the Jets to go with him at 16 over Denzel Boston, but second round changes it a little bit for me, but he's not my favorite receiver in this class.
Right now, let's set the stage for Asmaniac Madness. The greatest tournament in all of sports as the actual March Madness gets underway today. Here's where things stand. Yesterday, it was Gary 3D boxing with a victory as a 1 seed over Jay Graves. We have completed the first round in the inside-outside region, the first round in the dangerous alliance region, and now we're on to the extraordinary region. We'll update the graphic after today, but Gary has moved on, and this morning, it's now the 8 versus 9 battle. Jordan and Amanda Madison squaring off. Your vote determines who advances to the round of 32, who faces Gary in the next round. Ladies and gentlemen, voting is underway.
Who's gonna be the best of the bunch? You get to pick the ones that make the show rock.
Vote, vote, vote. Let's find out who will face Gary 3D boxing in the next round. Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Let's get to your calls on our show. Gusbuster Hotline. Chef Brian starts it off today. Hello, Brian.
Hello, me leading off, man. Freaking honor to be with both of you guys, man. Matt and Jake's freaking honor for real. So I wanted to get to my point with Muji, man. So he's made a lot of decisions last year, a lot of trades this year. I feel like he's definitely going to be a playmaker in that first round. He's going to trade some picks. He's going to move up, maybe take a receiver, try to keep 16, maybe give something up from next year, because there's no guarantee. We all know how good he is, man. If they have a terrible record this year, Muji has no guarantee he'll be back, especially with all the...
I figured since Brian's audio was making it sound like he was farting, I'd play an actual fart. Brian, try and call back. We'll let you finish your point. There was some internet issues that you'll laugh your ass off if you actually go back and hear what it was sounding like. Someone goes, is that a frog burping, Yo Holmes? It's funny. Look, I don't know if they're going to trade up for a receiver, but I got to be honest, I'm not against it if they're in absolute love with like that, what their process is there. Like if they're like, we want Mekhi Lemon and they're that aggressive for him, I would understand it. I don't think they're going to do that, though. I think they stick and pick at 16. If there's a receiver they like, they'll take one there.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I guess, with their 2 second rounders, if there was someone that they really liked that was falling, but they wanted to move up from 16, they could theoretically do it. I'd be open to trading 44. I don't want to trade 33 in a move to move up for a player, because if you are doing that, or if you are trading up, rather, I would rather do it with 44 and then use 33 to slide back and get a third round pick, right? I just think that's the more valuable pick to try to move with on day 2. But, we'll see how aggressive he's liked trades pretty much since August of last year. So we'll see if that continues into the draft.
I agree with you. I'm with you there. Comments, questions, super chats. Cut the line. Anthony Esposito with a super chat. He's supporting the show. Anthony, one more super chat and we'll get you in the raffle. Take Reese at 2 and then trade 16 and 33 to move up to 7 and take downs. What do you think? Okay, so they take Reese at 2, pick 16 and 33 to move up to 7 to take downs. That is a steep price. I don't love doubling up on defense, even if I'm getting 2 great players potentially. Where's the offensive help coming from?
Yeah, that's my problem with it. If it was 16 and 44. I feel better about moving up to 7 with that pick. Although I've got to be honest with you, I know Caleb Downs is a great player. I'd be targeting Carnell Tate with that pick. If I'm moving up, I want that wide receiver help.
Early blowout in voting and as Maniac Madness. Amanda Madison, the 9 seed, all over Jordan, the number 8 seed. 79-21. Amanda leading. People want that Gary versus Amanda second round matchup. It certainly appears. Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. Let's get to more of your calls right now. Right now, there's only one man currently on hold. So for those of you who complain about this is your fault.
I'm putting icy hot on my back. This will take off the pain and the blemishes.
Hell, stop.
If you're not fully clean, unless you're zestfully clean. Ding! That's right. Buy Zest, the real soap master. We're going to be fine. We're just going to be just fine. But I don't see the numbers still. I want to see Geno's numbers and what he can produce. Because the last time he was here, he did this.
He took his shirt off?
No. What do you think? That this looks like a shirt over the head saying, please go away. It's like, go away. He sucked. He was horrible. I couldn't stand it. I was just like you, except my eyes were like Roger Rabbit almost. And knowing me, I like Roger Rabbit. Yeah, except I don't play him. If I did play him, I'd be like, ah! I see you, baby!
At any point, if someone calls in, this stops. Until then, you all sit here and watch this.
Matt, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Have you ever seen Roger Rabbit?
I know Roger Rabbit, yes.
Very funny movie. And you know who else was in that movie too? Christopher Lloyd. But he shaved his head because he played the judge. But we're gonna.
Hey,
well, here's the
I got
thing we're
breaking news from Mike D's Nuts Beast. He says that you showered in hot dog water. Is this true?
Wrong, Sonny. I don't want to know you. Bye bye.
Oh no.
Bye bye.
So it's not true.
Nope. Sorry. Wrong. Please be a little appropriate. Please consider keep things out of certain waters. And knowing me, I got a couple of waters left. I gotta go pick up some water anyway.
Now you wrote time for a hot shower. So was it
I
hot
took
dog water?
a nice hot shower. Except I caught a little bed bite. I was like, don't worry, I can get rid of those. I got something to get rid of them. A little spray and a little bit of salt.
Wait, what happened?
I got some of this stuff, the spray, and I got some salt.
You got a bed bug bite?
Yeah, in the leg, but I'm not gonna worry.
Do you have bed bugs?
No. I keep my floors. My floors are always fresh.
Yeah, but what about your bed?
I use a heavy broom, and I also do a little.
What about your bed, though? Are there bed bugs on your bed?
No, I checked it yesterday. She's still a sturdy son bitch. She's still sturdy. But he's doing a lot better too. He's doing much better. He's eating a lot better. I gave him exercise. I gave him an hour to play today.
Make sure that little Joey doesn't eat any bed bugs.
No. Money does not grow right here. Money don't grow here. Oh, look, it's Kip Winger.
All right, we'll check back in with Beast at some point. Ladies and gentlemen, Cannonball Eric has called in and spared the chat. Hello, Eric.
Hey, Jake and Matt. I've been really back and forth this offseason what I want to happen to the season. So I figured I'd ask you guys, would you rather have like a great draft and we start the season off slow? Pieces aren't really clicking, but as it goes on, they do start clicking. We win maybe 7 games, get like 2 signature wins. Maybe we beat the Pats in Buffalo, and it looks like the coach knows what we're doing. And, we have a competent coach, or just completely bomb, be picking number 1, start over with Tomlin or an offensive coach and kind of be more confident with the quarterback.
In that first scenario, can we root for Indianapolis to just be a complete disaster and they end up with a higher pick than the Jets?
Well, that would be best case scenario, right? But, who knows? It's just more about, would you rather be competent going into next season thinking the coach is all right, but not really be set for quarterback? and be a quarterback away? Maybe we have to trade some of those picks to get a quarterback, or just restart it over, offensive head coach, have Arch Manning, and just, be rebuilt as an offensive team.
If you're telling me I feel better about the coach, I prefer that, because then I think it's easier to build your team if you feel like you got the coach in place and you have the ability to move around to get your quarterback. Remember, the Bills broke a playoff drought and then traded up for Josh Allen. The Chiefs had Alex Smith, were a good team. Then they added Mahomes to it. The Ravens with Lamar already had Flacco at that point. Like, you don't just need to be god awful to get your quarterback. What I don't want is like they luck into 7 wins like they did with Gase that first year after they started 1-7, and you're in no man's land in the draft. You don't feel good about the coach. I rather than bottom out, or me actually feeling like Glenn proved me and many detractors wrong, that he's actually good at his job.
Yeah, I agree with Jake. I think, and with the first overall pick, right? Like if they just stink, then obviously, yeah, that's a great consolation prize and starting over, and hopefully that attracts a good coach. So I don't think that's a horrible option, obviously, but I don't want to go into this year hoping that it just completely bottoms out and that we don't feel great about Aaron Glenn. I think if there's a world where you can feel good about the coach and then also get your quarterback, I think that's the best case scenario.
Yeah, me as a fan, I don't ever want to root for tanking. It sucks to have to root for your team to do bad. And to succeed, you need a coach and a quarterback. So I'd rather have one of those settled going in. At least we know the coach is competent, but I just really don't have a lot of faith in Glenn. So I've been up and down thinking about it. But yeah, that's all I got. Thanks, guys.
Eric, great call, man. Appreciate you.
They wrote me off. I ain't right back, though.
We got Geno, baby. Geno leading us to glory. Update in voting.
As Maniac Madness is underway, make sure you vote to make your voice heard.
Folks, this is a runaway. Amanda Madison, 81% of the vote to Jordan's 19 so far in our voting. Let's head to the call-in line right now. We're standing by is the 9 seed in the extraordinary region. Here's Amanda Madison. Hello, Amanda.
Hi, Jake. Hi, Matt. How are you guys' mornings going so far?
Not as good as you. No one is dominating like you are right now.
I just wanted to thank the Asmaniac community. It's really amazing. I think I know the real reason why I'm doing so well this morning. It probably has to do with the round of 32 matchup. But I just wanted to let all the Jets fans know that their vote is being put to good use if they use it on me. Like, I would do everything in my power to take down Gary, should I make it that far. And I just really appreciate it. Also, today, I think it's at 12:15, Ohio State is versus TCU. So let's hope it's a double win day for Amanda Madison and the Buckeyes. A great 8-9 matchup.
What does it mean to you that right now you're up 81-19? Did you expect to dominate?
I didn't. I thought since I was a newer member of the show that Jordan would come out with a vengeance, since I feel like a lot of people know who he is. But no, I'm honored, flattered, humbled, and we know this is a big deal for me, maybe even speechless by the outcome that we're witnessing this morning.
What are your thoughts on the comments about your earmuffs in the chat?
What's being said about them?
A lot of people saying they've never seen earmuffs. ISU said you lost some votes for those hamburger earmuffs.
Oh, no. That's brutal. I'm sorry for all the people out there who don't like the idea of keeping your ears warm in these cold conditions. Also, I would just like to point out, I'm at work right now, but I didn't want to have to whisper as I have in the past, so I stepped outside so I could embarrass myself in full form right now and do whatever it takes to win. It doesn't look like I'm going to have to pull out any of the stops for this round, but I've got big plans.
And what are your thoughts on Beast apparently having bed bugs?
Those can be very problematic. I highly suggest he gets an exterminator and brings in the right people to get that problem sorted out. I hope he doesn't he'll know if he has them because he'll have all these like little red bumps on him. I'm pretty sure bed bugs bite, which is like where the don't let the bed bugs bite comes from.
Beast, are you hearing this?
Amanda,
Do you have any red bumps on your body?
let me just say this for everybody. I don't know where the bed bugs came from, but I got salt, heavy salt that'll get rid of them faster than you say a bucket of bullets. And don't think I won't do it. I can.
All right, you guys
I'm
are
not
gonna
that
have to
stupid.
relay what
They
he
don't
said
make-
because
they
I'm
don't make
calling it
real
with my
men
phone
anymore
and
like
I
they
didn't
used
hear
to.
it.
And you got my vote because let me just say this for everybody, you're hot enough to be the next cheerleader, and you know what? That's no bullshit right there. That's grade A guarantee facts. FACTS.
Beast, I wish I could hear you. I bet what you're
That's a
saying is so
That's
valuable
all
to
fact.
the call.
I hate
Aw,
people
man.
who lie. And I hate people who don't learn to listen. It's because they're too busy.
Vote
They
him in
don't want
Madison
to
if
learn
you care about
to
the
do one of
future.
these.
The
Asmaniac
future of the
Madness
Jets
is underway.
franchise.
Make sure you vote to make your voice heard.
Amanda, we'll check back in with you, but we got to address what Beast just said. Beast, you said you're using salt to combat the bed bugs?
Oh, heavy salt. That's the best way to get rid of them. You know why? They don't like that stuff. Well, you know what? I don't care. It's called Screw With Me. And remember what John Goodman said to Cliff in the Flintstones? Cliff, I think it's time for you and me to interface.
All right.
Are we
And what happened
sprinkling
in the end?
salt on the
Cliff
bed?
got his ass rocked.
What's the plan
Yes,
with the
it's-
salt? Are you just gonna like sprinkle it on the bed? How does this work?
No, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna put it all around the floor slowly. Then I'm gonna put some under the mattress. That'll make them run. It's called run. RUN, run. Don't think I can I'll beat that. I can outbeat that. That's easy. It's like a game of Battleship. F6.
Hey, Kyle Clifton says you use black pepper on bed bugs.
No black pepper. No. Salt. Heavy salt. And I got the right salt to do it.
I think you got to throw out your mattress, Beast. I don't think bed bugs is
Don't
something you can
worry.
just combat.
Don't worry. I got something to combine the heavy operation.
Oh, the Harry
Oh,
Potter
there we
spray.
go.
Hey, if you don't use your head, then what am I talking to? A brain dead skull or the wall? I see you, baby.
Beast, thank you very much. That was an interesting one there, man.
I don't know if the salt is gonna do the trick, man.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. More of your calls. And for those of you who tuned in late, great giveaway on our shows today. Wayne Corbett sign helmet. Get in by gifting a membership or sending a $10 super chat or higher. Tomorrow on the show, Curtis Martin sign helmet, Wilson sign jersey, Vinny T sign jersey, our top prizes in the weekly raffle. We say hello to Knowledge the Jedi, who's next today. Hello, Knowledge.
Hey, how you doing today, Jake? So,
what's up, Knowledge?
Like I said yesterday on your show, I'm against taking a QB this year in the first 2 rounds because if we're gonna, I feel we should just get high best player available in the first 2 rounds. Even if we sit and pick, we don't have to trade back, trade up. Just grab the best football player at the pick. Just hit your picks, and then build your team. Like, we're in a rebuild. I'll be happy with 8 wins. Like, come on.
Well, Knowledge, think about it. Your internet's a little choppy, so I'll let you run. 8 wins would be more than they won in a decade in a single season. So, yeah, they win 8 wins. Glenn might get coach of the year votes.
I was gonna say I'd be thrilled with an 8-win season, man. I'd be absolutely thrilled.
The thing is, I just don't see them taking Carnell Tate at 2. I just think they're going to value their grades, and he's not going to grade as high as some of the other players on their board. And, like, we could just say, just take the receiver, but that's not how NFL teams think.
Yeah, I'm with you. That'd be surprising. And I really like the player. I like Carnell Tate a ton, but I think we're talking Sonny Styles, Arvell Reese, David Bailey. Those are the most likely picks for the Jets at pick 2.
Hit the like button if you guys are just tuning in. We got a gifted membership from Curly Norman, who has entered the Asmaniac raffle for 1.
JETS, Jets.
Curly, thank you. All right, more of your calls. We head to the barber shop where Carlos is standing by. What's up, Los?
What's going on, fellas?
Los.
Matt O'Leary. How you doing, bud?
Doing good. What's going on, man?
Awesome. Listen, first and foremost, I got the remedy for Beast. This works on everything. It's the Puerto Rican remedy. It's called Vicks. You get a thing of Vicks, and you just put that Vicks all over your body, right? And then you just lay there, and once the bed bugs bite, they'll eat the Vicks up, and then they'll die. Another thing is, I would love to get a hold of Beast Breaker's mohawk. I think I could do a better job with it than what he's been doing. Not sure if he's getting that done at the Supercuts, Great Clips, or if he's doing it in the attic. But would definitely love to get a hold of that mohawk and maybe give it a little spice. All right, now off to Jets topics.
Beast, you there? Beast. Carlos wants to touch up your mohawk. Get that mohawk. Beast, turn around.
He's salting.
Yeah, he might be salting his bed. All right. Well, eventually he'll turn around, Carlos, and we'll get some clarification.
All right. So, question for you guys. This kind of probably, it's a question, but we'll see. What is the problem, right? Just hypothetically speaking, I know everybody's against picking Ty Simpson at number 16, right? But what would be the problem with picking, or how much would it affect or hurt the franchise to pick Ty Simpson at number 16? Even if you get it wrong, you still have 3 first-round picks next year. So, I mean, why not take a swing at a quarterback and then, hey, if it's good, it's good. And if it's not, then we just move on. Like, how bad does that affect the franchise, truthfully, if you was to make that kind of pick and it went wrong?
Well, it depends, because if they take Ty at 16 and it goes poor, does that stop them from taking a first-round pick next year? What if he's okay and they were unsure what he is, and that cost them from taking the swing next year in a better quarterback class? Like that's a big part of all this too, Los. Like, you're also just burning a pick. Like, pick 16 could be a great player for you for the next 5+ years.
True. Yeah, that was going to be my take on it too. Essentially, like, you don't want to be stuck in no man's land. I think that's worse. Like, if you see him for 7 games and he's like just okay, and you're going, well, we saw some things that we like, but some things we're unsure of. Now what do we do? And then, even if it bottoms out and is bad, yeah, you can still take a quarterback that next year. But it'd be really nice to have an impact player with the 16th pick.
Yeah, and then another thing is, what exactly do you guys really feel? Is there any possibility where Muji actually trades out of that second pick and trade back to maybe get more? I mean, is that can you see something hypothetically like that happening in the draft, actually moving out of that second pick?
Someone loves Jordan Love. Not Jordan Love. Help me out. Who am I thinking of? The running back. Julian Love?
Jeremiah Love.
Jeremiah Love.
Yeah.
Think of it. That's apparently the talk now, is that teams really like him, and there might be some movement there for Jeremiah Love. But that would surprise me. I think they're more likely to stick and pick.
Gotcha. All right, fellas, appreciate your knowledge, and I'll catch you next time. Hopefully we can get Beast on so I can talk him into letting me get a hold of that mohawk.
Carlos, great gesture, and I'd love to see it. Let's go back to the layer right now where Beast is standing by. Beast? Beast? Hey, Bedbug McGee, turn around. Beast? God damn.
What's he doing over there?
What are you doing? He's got headphones on. He's not paying attention to the show. What is this? What are we doing, Beast? Turn around. Turn around. Don't jump out of the attic.
I'm putting icy hot on my back. This will take off the pain and the blemishes.
Hell, stop.
Unbelievable. I did receive this image of Beast apparently fighting the bed bugs. This was just sent to me by someone with eyes on the attic. So, Matt, you tell me what you make of this.
I really don't think salt is the way to go.
You don't think salt is the right mechanism?
No, I don't think so. That's tough. Those are some pretty big bed bugs, though.
Gigantic. I think Beast might have noticed. Beast, are these what the bed bugs look like? This is what we're being told.
Keeping him on television. We don't want him around. No,
Beast?
He's finished.
Beast.
He's done.
I want nothing to do with that dirtbag. Fucking war. Fuck Beasley. He's a
We're still on Beasley. What about the bed bugs?
Hold on 1 minute. You hear me clear, do you?
We've been trying to get a hold of you.
I've been very busy. I've been making phone calls. And then
No, you haven't. I've been watching you the whole time. You've been standing over there in the corner. You look like you would take a poop in a bucket.
How would you like a 2x4?
What's the deal with these bed bugs? We're concerned.
Those are not the size bed bugs I'm talking about. The small ones.
You're huge.
And I'm also, you got to pay attention a little bit more. You're way off base. Way off the base. You gotta keep it on the base. And today we're gonna do what we're gonna do today. We're gonna have a little fun. He's starting to do a much better job. I'm starting to change my eating habits a little bit. And tomorrow is the first day of spring. Goodbye, winter.
Wait a second. You're changing your eating habits? Let's hear about the beast diet.
Well, I'm still gonna eat some meat once in a while, but it's just right now getting old. I'm 42. I can't be doing the crazy stuff like I used to anymore. Them days are long gone.
What have you had to eat so far today?
Let's see. Yeah, just an everything bagel. Everything bagel and a bowl of waffle crisp.
I feel like that's not changing your eating habits. That doesn't sound healthy.
That's fine. Hey, that's fine. It's normal. It's not that. It's not like when you gotta run to the bathroom and go diarrhea, cha cha cha, diarrhea, cha cha cha. That's not that bad. Not that bad at all. Just stay off the certain shit, and then you'll be fine. We're gonna be. What does everybody?
Beast, thank you very much. Matt, your thoughts on Beast potentially changing his diet?
Good for him. I hope it takes, and best of luck with it, Beast. I don't know. We're off to a tough start though with the bagel and bowl of cereal. I don't know how that's gonna go.
He's got to get some exercise the rest of the day. There's no doubt. Matt, as always, I appreciate you hopping on. A lot of fun, and we will do it again soon.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me, Jake.
Matt O'Leary with us in his weekly spot. Hit the like button if you guys are just tuning in. Open phone lines for anyone who wants in on the conversation. The Dominican Destroyer has gifted a channel membership, joining the raffle.
They wrote me off. I ain't right back, though.
Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line if you want in on the conversation. Let's see. Black Gypsy says, do bed bugs have high blood pressure too? Connor wants to know, where is Gary to discuss the meat? It's a good question. Mike D's Nuts says he's got bed bugs, unlimited protein. Ryan says Beast is absolutely disgusting if he actually has bed bugs in that dumpster. Brian says he's seasoning those bed bugs up for the grill. Sir Lucas says Beast's new diet, he's going to stop eating. Max says everything bagels rock. I do agree. Update in voting. It is a blowout right now. Bad job by Jordan not calling in. 82-18. Amanda Madison cruising. This will be one of the bigger blowouts we've ever had in the history of the tournament if the score holds. And it's sad because people are saying, who's Jordan? For those asking who Jordan is, according to Boomtown, our committee chairman, he called in 49 times over the last year. He had the 21st most amount of calls of any Asmaniac. He called in more than Barbarossa, Luppy, Dave Briga, Ricky NY, and the defending champion, Mr. Bonesy. He simply chose the worst time to not call in as much. He's a great caller. Just poor timing, not reminding everyone who he is. What can you do? It's all about getting hot at the right time in this tournament. That's how you win. Let's pause to hear from one of our sponsors.
Are you tired of grilling outdoors? Are you tired of having to go to the kitchen to cook? Thanks to Beast's Ultimate Taste Tool, my troubles are over. Sure, it's a little smoky, but who cares? Look, I even got a bucket to shit in so I never have to leave my room. Now you're cooking with butt.
Daniel says Amanda has better branding agents. Daniel, I wanted you in this tournament. You were eligible. You just didn't call in once over the last 3 months. Join my Discord. I was trying to find a way to get a hold of you, but I had no way of doing it down in Mexico. Let's see. Ali says, bagels with cream cheese and bedbugs. Sounds healthy. Black Gypsy says, Jake, can you announce the next matches for the next 2 days? Well, Black Gypsy, it's all posted in the Discord, but here is the upcoming schedule. This afternoon, we have the Chuck Wagon against Paul Faz. Tomorrow morning, we have JJ, who hasn't called in a long time since he welched on his bet that he'd shave his head if the Jets were to miss the playoffs, against rising star Lou B. All right, so we have Chuck Wagon and Paul this afternoon, JJ and Lou B tomorrow morning, Mr. Bonesy and Michael Levinson tomorrow afternoon. Saturday, Barbarossa and Jets Jesus. Monday morning, first show, you're in action, Black Gypsy, against Coach Oglick, and that will be the final matchup in the extraordinary region, which then means that Monday afternoon, it will be the number 1 overall seed, Charles Eugene M. Gorman, against Robert C. in the round of 64 of the grown-ass man region. So we got quite a few battles coming up. But right now, you vote between Jordan and Amanda Madison. More of your calls, shall we? Shane is next. Hey, Shane.
Hey, good morning, Jake. Good morning. Yeah, I love this battle. This is great. I love it. But my boy Beast, listen, can't be messing with those bed bugs, man. I don't know. You better fumigate that place, set it on fire or something, because that's a no-go. He's going to be there with welts all over his body. But back to the Jets. My question, I think Muji's doing a great job. Do you think he's going to continue this streak of making these great deals, from my perspective, in the draft?
I can see him making several trades. He traded up last year. I hope he personally trades down with one of their first 4 picks this year. They don't have a 3rd-round pick. I'd love to see the Jets be creative and acquire one by moving out of either 33 or 44.
And now the 16th pick, do you think Homer Simpson is gonna?
He's in play. Homer's in play at 16. If the Jets love him, they might take him. I'd rather take Ty at 33 than 16. I've made that clear. But there's a lot to like about him. I just can't get over the fact he's played 15 starts.
Yeah, I hear you with that, but I feel like they're in a desperate situation, and it's kind of like for the fans, it's kind of like, oh, great, are we gonna gamble it all on this quarterback? Such a high pick, I just I think that's the most intriguing pick for me, and see what he does with that. And or do you think Tyson could be picked? Ty Simpson could be picked before 16.
Yeah, look, he could. I'm not convinced though. I don't have a landing spot for Ty Simpson before 16. I don't think Miami's taking him at 11. I don't. I think he's going to be there, and the Jets are going to pass on him.
You think so? Okay. Well, that's what I hope too, and really get some studs and work with what we have, because I think he's doing a great job, Muji, for now. But he still has some justification with this draft, because last year in his late picks, where are these guys now? What are they doing? What did they do for the team? And we're stacked too with a lot. So I think he has a little bit to prove, and I think if he nails and hits some home runs in this draft, we're going to be in good shape. I think we'll beat those Vegas odds and maybe get 6 wins. But that's what I'm looking forward to.
They're kind of right on par with the Vegas odds. If it's 6 wins, though, that's 5.5. Now the under is slightly favored, but it's not drastic. Like it's plus 105 if they win 6 games compared to minus 125 to win under 6. So that's kind of right around what the expectation is that they do that.
Yeah. Well, all right. Appreciate the time, Jake. Thanks again. Love the content, man. And this bracket is hysterical.
Shane, thanks so much, man. Really appreciate it. You got to be in it next year, right? Call in more.
Yeah. Listen, I met you at the draft party last year, which was great too. Really quick and briefly. So I won't be able to make up the Pittsburgh, but looking forward to see the content on your coverage of it all.
Thanks, Shane. I really appreciate it, man. Great call. Not a super chat, a gifted membership from Sean Bennett. Let's go, Sean.
They wrote me off. I ain't right back, though.
Sean making a comeback in the chat. He gifted a membership to listener Sir Luca. Sean, you're in our Crabette helmet raffle across our shows today for a one. I'm going to raffle that away later on. Hit the like button if you haven't. We got only 165 likes, but over 400 people watching the show. So let's get those numbers up. I appreciate all of you. Big shout out to everyone who's tuned into our content this week. If you have a super chat, it will cut the line. Let's get to more of your calls right now. The Australian Jet fan is next today. Hello, AJF.
What's up, Jake? I can tell you, unlike JJ, if I will not go back on my promise of shaving my head if I win Asmaniac Madness, which is a serious goal of mine at the moment. But at the moment, we're focusing on week by week, and it's going to be a hard matchup against Mad Max, but I'm looking forward to it.
Look, I think you have a chance because Mad Max is out of his mind, and so are you, and that might play well in this tournament.
I mean, no offense to Philly Noodles. I knew he was going to be a valiant opponent, but I was a bit more confident getting through the first round. I've had my eyes on this being the real challenge. So I've been preparing since the bracket was announced.
What's your strategy against a guy like Mad Max? He might try and just drown and talk over you if you guys go head to head.
I think that I just need to, establish some rapport. I think, in honor of Robert C, I'm going to be doing an ice bucket challenge soon, so hopefully that'll help me get a few votes.
You're going to do an ice bucket challenge?
Yeah, I don't know if you remember the infamous Robert C ice bucket challenge from last year.
Yeah, he was about 11 or 12 years behind the trend.
Yeah, let's make it 13. That's my plan.
You know what? It's crazy enough to work. I like it, AJF.
I appreciate it. And then also, do you think that the Jets are going to finish last in the division, or do you think we're going to finish above Miami now that they're just completely blowing it up?
I think it's a toss-up. I think they're both bad.
I'm just trying to figure out what their plan is, because they've blown up their whole team, but they won't trade Devon Achane, and they've spent all this money on Malik Willis as well. What is their goal? I don't understand.
I have not been able to really figure it out because they think they have their quarterback, but they just traded their best weapon. I get they have a lot of picks, but are you guaranteed to find a player as good as Jalen Waddle at receiver? I don't know. They don't have a lot of cap, so they're trying to bring in youth that doesn't cost anything on rookie contracts, but they're kind of operating like they're half pregnant. I don't really know what their game plan is.
And Malik Willis, he's 26, 27 as well, is he not?
He is. Yeah, he's young.
Yeah, I get having a young QB, but is that age the QB that you sort of want to have when you're building from scratch? It doesn't really seem like a long-term success guy.
He's young enough to be. I mean, if he's in his mid-20s, he's not old. But, are you giving him the best chance to prove he could be your guy if you just traded away his best weapon?
Yeah, I don't understand that. I think, they've barely got any money. I saw they've got the least cap space in the NFL. So maybe what they're doing right now, they're just they're in panic mode. Maybe a bit like the Raiders. I don't know how they're going to manage their cap now that they've got to keep Max Crosby.
Thankfully, they're not paying their quarterback much money, so that helps. They can make it work.
And then Ty Simpson. I don't want him at 16, but I think that's pretty consensus. I think you've got it right with the draft. I agree with you completely. I want Arvel Reese at 2, and then the best receiver available at 16. And then I guess later on, they can just do what they want. If Simpson's still there, take him. But I trust Muji. I really do trust Muji to get it done. I just think next year it's going to be his big decision because we know what happened with Joe Douglas. Everyone was praising him, and then he went and drafted Zach Wilson. So let's hope that we don't repeat history and Muji doesn't make the same mistake.
Let us hope, Australian Jet fan. Now, before I let you run, do you guys get bed bugs in Australia? Any advice to Beast?
I've never had bed bugs, but maybe Beast should change his bed sheets. That's my advice.
That seems like a good suggestion. I'll relay that to him.
Thanks for having me on, Jake. I'll talk to you again soon.
Money does not grow Right here. My little girl here. Oh, look, it's Kip Winger. Oh, dear God. This is the saddest of the saddest. Sad. I don't know what the hell you all are smoking, but this is a load of crapola and shitzola. Sad. I've heard Vince McMahon once say, this show is getting referred to as children. I got all the tools I need to get rid of them. Don't worry about what I do. You know what? Doc Emmett Brown once said these words. You got to do what you got to do. And I got to do what I got to do.
I see you, baby!
All right. Thank you for that, Beast. Good call by AJF. Sean wants to know, could we trade from 33 back into the first round and have 3 first-rounders? Yeah, the Jets did this the year they traded back in to take Jermaine Johnson. They definitely could do that. They have the 44th pick of the second round. That's perfect to use to get back into round 1 if you had to. I don't even know if you need to use 33. What did you use 44 to get back into the late first? The Giants last year traded a third to get back in. They didn't even have to trade a second. It all depends on what teams are interested in. Every team's draft board is different. They have different ways where they scout and evaluate players and assign grades. So there's going to be a mixed bag. And if you find the right team that has the same grades on 20 guys in a bunch, it might not cost as much as you think to move back into round 1. We've seen all over the place this happen around the league. I personally hope the Jets are moving back in and acquiring picks rather than moving up, but things happen. Who will the Jets take at number 2? That's the question. I think signs point to it being Reese as of now. Where does the chat stand on the Reese versus Bailey or Sonny Styles debate? I know where Robbie Sabo stands. If you missed it, take a listen.
This is what's called Monday Film Room, looking around at teammates going, what the hell is this guy doing? Here's Bailey. Let's run it through. This is a classic. He's not going to take on a little physicality for us, for me, for his teammates. And this is a classic contrast between a guy who avoids contact, Bailey, and a guy who doesn't, Reese, and who's willing to do the little things for his defense, to not destroy the integrity of that defense. Counter, fake pitch, counter, 2nd and 9, championship game. Bailey avoids the kick out. Are we serious? It's a 4-man front. Here's Bailey up top. He's edge. He's the force player. Now, D-tackle, inside step. I don't know if he's following or if it's planned. If it is inside and someone's replacing Bailey on the edge, that's even worse. If someone's replacing him on the edge, even though no one comes, you should take this kick out with your outside shoulder and try to muck it up right here. Right here, muck it up, make the back go around. He tries to avoid. When you're coming down as the force player, at this point, you're outgunned. D-tackle, slant it in. Take this on. If you're the force player, take it on with your inside shoulder. Leave your outside free, but at all costs, attack and muck it up. Muck it up right here. Do damage. Car accident. This way, the counter, the ball carrier, has to cut it up quicker or take more time to bounce it out. If someone's replacing you off the edge, it's even worse what he does, because you got to take it on with your outside shoulder, just cut down the space, do the right thing for your teammates. But when he comes down, okay, screech, 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 screech. Now you know the kick out's coming. You got a puller also coming, classic counter. Get in there. Be violent. Helmet on under the chin, crown under the chin. He stops. He stops. That's how you play crap defense, folks. He stops. And it just gives way for the puller coming through to clean up on the second level. Major issue here. And it's not a one-time thing. Meanwhile, you got a guy, Reese, 2 years younger, weighs 7 or 8 pounds less, doing this off the edge. Bang. Squeeze. Flat. Aggressive. Physical. Doing the right thing for his teammates. He sees the kick out. Here he is to the left. Sees the kick out and attacks it. Attack it. Don't elude. Boom. See what he does for his team? See the difference? This is football. Again, Bailey, great hands, has a chance to be a great pass rusher at the NFL level, not a 3-down player. This guy is. He's 2 years younger. He's outweighed by Bailey, and yet he's so much more physical and violent, I can't even tell you. He does all the little things so much better. It's mind-boggling that it's even a discussion at 2. This is how you play football. Edge, 3-3-5, reads it, tight end, down immediately, snuffs it out. Here comes the kick. Takes it on perfectly. Head outside, peeking, flat. So the back has to make a decision, has to take time. He has got to make a quicker decision. Doesn't know what to do, tries to slither through, even though Miami almost has a seal. If Reese is too far downhill, doesn't squeeze it too far enough, the back could easily have found something here. But Reese makes it happen, anchors up, outside shoulder pad, detaches, and then makes the play, in on the play. That's defense, folks.
Robbie Sabo, strong take. Agree or disagree with him? Super chat from Abu Dhabi in the raffle for 4. Let's go ahead.
They wrote me off. I ain't right back, though.
Given Bane's performance in the championship game, teams may want to trade up. Yeah, but Bane is a historic outlier with his arm length. Now, I think he's going to be a really good player. I don't think the Jets will take him at 2. I don't think he's even going to fall to 16. If he's there, I would take him. But I don't think teams are trading up for what would be a historic outlier. Like if he goes in the first round, he'd have the shortest arm length of any first round pick ever. So keep that in mind. I like him a lot, though. I mean, we all watched that national title game. I thought he was the best player on the field. I just hope they don't overthink it. I agree with Jet Fan 2405. Just take Reese. I think Reese has the highest upside. I would take him. Colada says, I have to stop watching when Beast is on. Hopefully he doesn't mess with the YouTube metrics. Beast, what are your thoughts on this person tuning out of my show every time you're on camera?
What happened?
Colada does not like my show when you're on. Do you have a message to try and win him over?
If you don't like what you see, get the channel clicker. Change the channel. Yeah, change the channel. It's like a working a remote. As a matter of fact, I got batteries for this little thing right here. Yeah, these little thingies right here. Batteries.
Hey, what's the deal with the bed bugs? Any update?
Oh, don't worry. They'll be gone by today. They'll be out of here. Fucking diarrhea, cha-cha-cha.
Last chance to get involved in today's show. Who's the pick of 2, Jet fans? Write it in. Tom Roseman gifting a membership. He's in the raffle for 1.
Play call is my superpower, really.
Thank you very much to Tom. Appreciate that. Fallon writes in. On the McKee talk, I have a lot of friends from Philly, and they love him, and they're pissed about the Andy Dalton signing. I don't understand the McKee love. I really don't. I mean, if they trade him, I'm fascinated to see what another team is willing to give up for a guy who started 2 games and was a 6th-round pick. It's not like he was like a 2nd-round pick and like Hurts has played so well, he just hasn't had a chance. He was a 6th-round pick. I don't quite get it. Knowledge the Jedi wants Styles at 2. Love the player. Don't think they'll take a linebacker that high, though. I wouldn't even sit here and say I hate it. I just don't think the Jets are going to do it. SJ says Ohio State at 2. Yeah, I feel strongly in that they're going to take an Ohio State player at 2. Because I do think I don't think it's Reese versus Bailey. I actually think it's Reese versus Styles, and I think they'll take Reese. J-Quest wants to know why I get killed on Reddit. I look, a lot of people on Reddit don't like me. What can you do? You can't please everyone. There's entire Reddit threads on my show, which I find hilarious. I mean, I'm not a regular Reddit user, but I've been looking at it, like I would say the last couple of months. Like I'm only recent to Reddit. So I don't quite understand all of it, but it's pretty crazy. It's all good for the show, though. All the people who say they hate the show, but they're watching it every day. It's funny how that works. Oh, I unsubscribed. I don't watch anymore. Yeah, you do. And if you didn't, someone else did, because we've never had more followers. We've never had more listeners. We've never had more channel growth. So someone's not telling the truth here. And my numbers are public, so I know it's not me being dishonest. So I don't know. Some of the comments are pretty funny. A lot of the comments, people don't like the callers. And I'm like, okay, if you don't like the call-in portion of the show, then don't watch after the first hour. You're still getting 2 hours of just pure, straight me doing Jet Talk or me with a guest doing Jet Talk. J-Quest says, I defended you and got blowback. Well, I appreciate you defending me, J-Quest. Thunderlip sent me a funny comment of him arguing as well. Pretty funny. Reddit, from what I understand, Reddit's like where people just go to complain, so no one actually writes nice things on Reddit, so it is what it is. Yeah, there's like a thread of like 100 comments, and they're all negative, and like to that I say, okay, it's 100 negative comments, but I have 44,707 subscribers, so someone enjoys the show. So we'll focus on the ones who do. Sean says, what's worse, Reddit or TikTok? TikTok has been fine. I mean, I don't really check it. I just post and that's it. There is not a Jake Asman Show subreddit, but maybe we should make one. Peter Castro, Reddit like a little bitch. Very, very eloquently said, Peter Castro. All right, couple more calls. And then we'll wrap this baby up. We'll be back this afternoon with Dylan Terraman. Chef Brian had some bad internet earlier. Let's try it now. Hello, Chef.
What's up, brother? Can you hear me good?
Oh, it's making the farting noise again. Go ahead, Chef.
Hold on.
Chef?
All right, what about now?
Oh, it's farting all right.
Is it still?
No, it's okay. Chef.
Sorry about that, man. I was at the depot. You know, I had to get the merchandise. I had to get the brisket, the ribs, all that good stuff for the restaurant today.
You dog.
So like I was saying, man, like Muji, he doesn't. I wouldn't give him a long leash, man, because he's already had a lot of picks last year, and I wouldn't give him a long leash this year. What's up with all the farting? That's not me, right?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure, man. Yo, Beast, that problem with those bugs, that's serious, man. You better take care of that because that shit'll fuck your whole furniture up, all your clothes, and have to burn everything up.
What do you recommend?
Yeah. Get somebody to fumigate it and take care of it soon, man. Because they'll have fun with Beast though, because he's a big dude. So they'll have fun with him. They suck a lot of blood.
Well, I just got this sent to me. Beast is off camera now. He's fighting what appears to be the bed bug as we speak, Brian. This was just sent to me. They are massive.
Yeah, man. They're brutal animals, man. I had an issue a long time ago. My kids were little when I was living in Union City. That shit's disgusting, man. I had to move. I couldn't stay there. Anyways, and then my next point, Jake, before I let you go, was like I was saying with Glenn. He doesn't have anything. He has a lot to lose, but he's gotta be very aggressive this year, man. I think that defense is gonna be good, and yeah, I think they'll keep us close in games, man. They'll keep us close in games, and hopefully we make a run, man. I know you always say I'm obsessed with the Jets making the playoffs, but man, we deserve it, man. If there's any fan base that deserves it, is us, because this community's awesome, and we freaking suck, man. We lose. you know, we all support each other here, and I love the camaraderie for real, man. Like all the support within the community. So if we're such a good community now, when we suck, just wait till we start winning, boys and girls.
Oh,
You
get
know?
ready, Brian. It's going down.
For real. All right, Jake. Thanks for taking my call, man. I'll see you at 4:00. I'm always tuned in.
Brian, you're the man. Well done, friend. Well done.
I'm putting icy hot on my back. This will take off the pain and the blemishes.
Hell, stop.
Ladies and gentlemen, now that's a call. That is a call. Adam is too cool says it's called Reddit, but it's full of illiterates. Yeah, some of the hate is just crazy to me. But what are you going to do? What did Robert Salas say? If you ain't got haters, you ain't popping. Ralphie says, Jordan didn't even call in today or this week. Too bad there were legit people who didn't make the cut who would have. I know, it's a tough spot for the committee, Ralphie, because think about it. We want to reward the people who are here year-round. But if you just happen to stop calling in this month, it's tough. I don't know what we could do about it. Maybe we need to do a better job of confirming who made the tournament if they're actually going to be able to call in next year. But Jordan called in 49 times over the last year. He had the 21st most amount of calls. He called in more than Barbarossa, Luppy, Brigo, Ricky, and the champ, Bonesy. So it's like, what do you do? Maybe we heavily weight the people who've only called in the last 3 months. So they're more active in the show because people have lives and forget who's who. But I see like Rick Kent's making a comment like, I don't even know who Jordan is. He's been a regular caller. So I don't know what you do. But this doesn't take away from the dominance that Amanda Madison has shown, folks. 81-19. Boomtown, I might need a new list of the biggest blowouts in the history of the tournament. Because this one feels like one that could crack the all-time list. 81-19 is on the list in the top 5. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right, before we end the show, let's get one final bed bug update from the man himself. Hit it.
I see you, baby!
Beast?
I'm over here giving him his rub right now. He deserves the rub of the day.
Hello, rub of the day, huh?
Hey, well, he's going to be two. He likes his rubs of the day. That just shows, guinea pigs need love too. He likes Jack. Good boy. I got him his food the other day. Everything's going up, and I'm gonna tell you this. Oh, breaking news! Carson Wentz has now re-signed with the Vikings.
Hey, breaking news. We talked about that an hour and 28 minutes ago.
Whoops. In the words of certain people, my bad.
Just listening to a band called Pig Destroyer.
Members all that the FBI is waiting to die. You do they know there are your choice supplies.
La Puerta Negra.
All right. What a show. Let's declare a winner officially in Asmaniac Madness. Moving on to the round of 32 is Amanda Madison. Amanda defeats Jordan 81-19 with 342 votes that were cast. So the stage is set in the round of 32. Amanda and Gary will face off. They'll be head to head, and it will be a battle that you dream about. A battle unlike any other. Here for a victory speech is Amanda Madison. Hello, Amanda.
Hi, guys. Thank you so much. I'm blushing. I'm crying, screaming, freaking out. This was better than I could have imagined. Well, I have my Jake Asman pin on to show my pride. Oh, wait, there's one more thing I can put on. Got a little jet up pride today, guys. Thank you so much. Let's go 4%ers. Me and Leanie going on runs.
What are your thoughts on facing your arch nemesis Gary now?
This is the moment I've been waiting for. I've been preparing, scheming, plotting, gathering my own band of people to take down Gary, colluding with the global studio headquarters. We have a lot of things in the works.
Are you working with Beast to defeat Gary?
I'll neither confirm or deny that allegation.
There's a nice whipping belt I can give Gary. A nice little leather belt, or I can always ask Burger to give me that nice barber strap for, like they all say. I think it's time for him to feel what take it to the woodshed feels like. As there ain't gonna be no walk in the park, cause you save him the other half for me, cause he's gonna feel a big nunchy, wiki.
Amanda, congratulations on the big win.
Thank you to the community. Go Jets.
Asmaniac Madness is underway. Make sure you vote to make your voice heard.
Now that is a show, folks. Thank you to Matt O'Leary for joining us for the first hour of our program. We're back with Dylan Terraman in the 4 p.m. hour. I'm on the Jets roundtable at 3 today. So things are happening. Jet content galore. Content you won't find anywhere else. Beast, good luck with the bed bugs. Congrats to Amanda Madison. And get set for this afternoon as the Tournament of Greatness, a Tournament of Champions continues with the old Chuck Wagon and Paul Faz showdown that you dream about around here. On that note, that does it for the show, but I'm not leaving you guys empty-handed. I leave you with this. Go Jets.
Hey, there we go. Light it up, Ricky. Yeah, let's get back to your calls right now. One of our favorites is on the Ghostbuster hotline. Ricky NY joins us now. What's up, Ricky?
Hey, Jake.
Hey, Ricky, how you doing?
Thanks for taking my call, Jake. I just finished smoking all the available weed in the panhandle, so bear with me if I collapse here in front of my personalized flag. Any chance you could send that boxing guy Gary to the Jameis Winston town? Maybe Gator can build a special hall for quarterbacks who throw more interceptions than completed passes. Well, not a Florida guy, but can go to Seminoles all the way there. If you got a whole lot, get all of them in there. I don't give a shit. Well, I think I got to relight this thing. Hold on a second. I just got this new blowtorch lighter. Let's try it out. Try it. Oh, Jesus Christ. Should have backed off that setting a bit. Anyway, Jake, I'll hang up for now and grab the burn kit again. Later, brother.
Oh, my God. Yo, Gator is different, man. That dude is different.
On the 2022 draft pick, the pick goes to Knoble out of college. Oh, hi. Jake wants me to ask you to click on the like button.
That's right, Lane. And if they don't subscribe to the Jake Asman Show, this team may never win another game. Let's go, Jets.